Okay, so you just started playing Dead by Daylight, and after a while getting 0 kills with the nurse or dropping survivors after stepping in your own trap as Trapper. This game is falling apart rather quickly for them. Here's a guide for beginner players in Dead by Daylight. In this guide, I'm going to be going over my opinion for the best killer to start with and the perks to use for that killer, along with many tips and strategies you can use to get better with your killer gameplay. Stick around to the end for our biggest tip on how to get better with killer, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you like what you see and want more of it. Let's get started with the killer of choice, the Wraith. The reason I chose the Wraith as the best killer for beginner players is simple. His power is the easiest to understand. Use your M2 to cloak and uncloak. When cloaked, survivors cannot see your red stain, you won't have any terror radius, and you'll be able to move a lot quicker. You'll also be partially invisible to the survivors. The Wraith has many more add-ons that you could use to make you even more powerful when used correctly. For perks, we'll be going with all the universal perks that can be obtained for all killers. Whispers, Spies from the Shadows, Unrelenting, and No One Escapes Death. I won't be going into too much on the add-ons for the sake of this video being too long. Just know that there are many good add-ons you can chain together, such as the Coxcomb Clapper and the Ghost Suit, the All-Seeing Blood and the Bone Clapper, or you can even go with the purple and green Swift Hunt add-ons to make your uncloak speed a total of 22% faster. Spawn location and gen control. Check the furthest generators from you when you spawn. Most likely, survivors spawn the opposite side of the map from you. You'll want to go and check there first. Be on the lookout for scratch marks along the way. You'll want to consistently be checking generators to stop survivors from progressing on them. You'll find that most of your chases start near the generator with some progress. So listen to those gens being worked on as you move around the map. Another tip I have here is body blocking. If you happen to catch a survivor on a generator and you have the chance to block them in between you and that generator as you uncloak, take this opportunity. One of the main things I try to do as Wraith is body block survivors as they're doing gens or even running in chase. Doing this correctly will cause them to have to change pathing, or sometimes cause them even to panic, giving you an easy free hit. Work on this one. You gotta do, Brayden? Body block it. You body block it. I got them stuck together. Oh, man. Ain't that something? Facing a wall. Try your best to face a wall when picking up survivors to avoid flashlights. You'll soon make it a habit of facing walls, especially when you get flashlighted enough, trust me. One flashlight save can extend the chase by a lot, changing the outcome of the entire game. You can also keep a lookout in the pre-game lobby to see if anyone even brought flashlights. If you happen to have the Hillbilly perk Lightborn, you can always switch this out for Unrelenting, especially if you see 4 survivors bringing in flashlights. Personally, I never use Lightborn. I prefer other players to go for flashlight saves instead of doing generators. I always try to pretend to pick up the survivor and try to catch the one attempting to make the flashlight save with a quick hit. So you're not going up the stairs. You're not doing that. You're not dead harding me. Let's get this. Back up, buddy. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Here's a combination of a few tips I felt best to put into one. Mind games, looping, and map knowledge. Learning mind games in Dead by Daylight isn't something you could do quickly. To learn mind games, you have to first have knowledge on the loops on each map. Most maps have the same types of loops, and you can even look up guides on all of these loops and find something to help you learn each loop a little more. But nothing helps you more than playing yourself to best understand the looping and the path a survivor will most likely take. Mind games can be something as simple as a head fake to make them throw the pallet, or waiting in a certain spot you know a survivor cannot see you during chase in a loop. They may even end up doubling back right to you. Or even pretending to uncloak so they drop a pallet. This way you could kick that pallet and force them to move to the next loop. Map knowledge is also something not learned easily. Something I did when I wanted to learn all the maps was bring a map offering for the same map over and over until you memorize it. I would usually bring a same map offering for an entire day. Each map has different variations, but some are easier to memorize than others. Pressure. Keeping pressure on survivors can be done many different ways. The rule I like to go by is that when we have 3 gens left, it's always good to have 1 or more survivors on their second hook state, meaning if you were to find them again and down them, their next hook would kill them. Ideally, it would be good for you to have 1 or more survivors out of the game by the time there's 2 gens left. A 3v1 instead of a 4v1 puts you at a much better position to win the game.
Alright. Considering this guy wants to smoke, we're gonna go after him right off hook. We're at 3 gens anyway, so. Oh yeah, definitely pretty. Definitely gonna get some today.
Knowing when to leave a survivor on the floor is also part of keeping up pressure. If you're down to 1 generator left and the survivor you down has 0 hooks, it might be best just to leave them there and force a teammate to leave a generator to come pick them up, especially if there's another survivor nearby. You can sometimes cover an area of 3 to 4 generators in close proximity near the end of the game. This will make it harder for survivors to get that last gen done. This is called a 3 gen. Keep a lookout of the gens that are not finished around the map, and come up with a plan to keep a few gens close together if you need to. This is usually a strategy I go to if I couldn't get many hooks throughout the game and I know there won't be enough time for me to knock down survivors and put them on hooks before the last gen pops. Alright, here it is. The biggest tip I can give you for being a better killer in Dead by Daylight is to play Survivor.
You what?
Playing Survivor and entering the mind of a survivor is the best way to get better at killer. This goes the same for being a better survivor. Play killer. Learning both sides and how they think is key to getting better. Think about it. If you learn a loop really well as a survivor, you should know what most survivors will do in that loop as killer. Or you could watch some Survivor gameplay if you're really not into playing Survivor. I do recommend checking out this guy here, Mr.Tatorhead. He puts up the most detailed guides on looping for every map in Dead by Daylight. Personally, I learned so much from him as a survivor, I was able to incorporate that into my killer gameplay as well. Think about it. If survivors are learning to loop here, shouldn't killers learn what survivors are going to do in each loop on the map? Also, this guy uses 0 perks. He's pretty much invincible. I mean, how do you talk shit at the end of a game to someone who loops you for half the game with 0 perks?
If these are set, what you have to do with this is get the killer to follow you up to the pipe, and once the killer is close, you run through the pipe.
Oh yeah, you should watch him too, Thunder. He's freaking amazing, man. Damn it, Tater!
Anyways, this is just some of the main things I could think of that I would tell any beginner player in Dead by Daylight. I'm sure there are many other things out there for you guys to learn, and with enough playtime and practice, you'll get it. If you're a fellow killer main out there and have any tips or tricks for any new killers, please comment below. And for my fellow killers out there who prefer to main Huntress as their first killer, here's a guide to get better with Huntress. Thanks for watching.